Uber is now getting greedy with its drivers. Now, Uber, okay, has the potential to become an insanely dominant and wealthy organization for the simple reason that it's a screen business, it's not a taxi business. It removed the uncertainty my System 1 used to suffer between ordering a cab and the cab arriving.
Right.
Which is, where is it? They said 10 minutes, he still hasn't arrived. Is he round the corner? Oh God, can you go out on the street and see if he's gone right? Oh God, maybe he's left. Okay. Now I just look at the map and go, oh look, he's stuck at those traffic lights. I'll have another pint. Okay.
Right.
So Uber solves this problem beautifully because the more you use it, the easier things come. That's something about System 1, that it loves habit, it loves ritual. It's why Amazon hasn't significantly redesigned. Amazon's never had a revolutionary redesign of its page because we just love familiar shit. System 1 just loves, oh, I know this, I can do it automatically. Don't need to engage System 2, straight in, okay? Right. Now, my question is with Uber, why is it getting, it's going to make a bloody fortune because it's hacked this fantastic thing. It's got magnificent kind of, ability to scale up. The costs must be absolutely trivial. The one thing that might stop me using that damn service is the driver grumbling to me about how they're a bunch of bastards and I ought to use Lyft.
All right, that's an open question. You can tweet him at Rory Sutherland. I want to hear answers to Uber and the Amazon.
But I'll give an extra question, which is that a lot of these people, okay, now I've got a client I can't name, and the reasons will become obvious in a second. And they've got a brilliant call center. I mean, it's like fantastic. So the people who ring it up are absolutely delighted. The customer service ratings are through the roof. The people are really knowledgeable, helpful, and fantastic. And I asked my client, without naming the business, I said, why is that call center so good? He said, to be absolutely honest, he said, I think we overpay them. Now, that is a perfectly good strategy in a call center, which is to overpay people a bit. Why? One, there are an awful lot of hidden costs to labour costs, which include the cost of training, the cost of recruitment, okay, and the cost of people being generally pissed off and trying to leave, or the cost of people who are very recent joiners who don't know what they're doing, okay. Those are all costs which don't appear on the conventional balance sheet. So if you overpay people, they stay for ages, they get really good, they're really, really committed, you have zero recruitment costs because they find one of their mates. If anybody leaves, they've got 5 people who go, well, actually, my cousin would love to work here and she'd be really good, etc. Okay? And there's also the value of the customer being absolutely delighted and going, actually, I'm not going to get involved with another competing business because I like this call center experience so much. That's also value that doesn't appear in a separate column on a balance sheet. It's just under revenue, right? And actually, they're probably doing, now if you got in bloody McKinsey or something, I'm probably slightly maligning them, right? But the first thing they do is go, okay, we'll put the people on 0 hours contracts, we'll cut them down to minimum wage, ooh, look how much we've saved, look straight to the bottom line, isn't it wonderful? And then all the costs start they actually either never appear because they're not really properly accounted for, or they appear in 4 months' time when suddenly people stop calling the call centre because it's a bit crap.
So you have a different way of looking at this
all I'm saying,
business.
okay, John Spedden-Lewis, who's the founder of the John Lewis Partnership, great Welshman, and also the founder of a really successful cooperative business entity, he made the simple point, which is I try to bring the mind of a naturalist to the management of business. And the mind of a naturalist is more subtle and more open to complexity than the mind of an economist or the mind of an accountant. That's what I'm saying. There are nuances there which any naturalist will understand, that in fact, treating your staff as though they're a fungible commodity and their time is a fungible commodity and their loyalty and commitment is worth nothing is not actually intelligent. It's merely numerate.
Right.
And that's not the same thing.
That is a fascinating point, and I would like to talk more about that in a bit. I want to ask you a question. You're an ad man. Mm-hmm. Ogilvy, highly respected, world-renowned creator, some would say, of the modern advertisement. You went working there, straight out of university.
Yeah.
Don Draper has been mythologized, with the Mad Men series. What drew you to being an ad man? What is it like? And what is a real ad man like that we don't ever understand behind the scenes?